man, Amber Heard has been, as the trial has been going on, she has been, not looking that great, I would say. And I want to check out this video. I haven't seen this video yet. I've been hearing a lot of people talk about this video of Amber allegedly. Well, right here it says in the video that she admits. She's saying Amber saying that she admits pooping on Johnny Depp's bed during, So let's check this out. This is crazy, dude. This is crazy.
To May 21, 2000. Now, I'm going to take you to May 21, 2016. And I'd like you to describe for the jury what took place that evening in connection with Mr. Depp.
Johnny and I had not seen each other for the better part of a month, or about a month. I was traveling. I had just shot a campaign in Italy. I spoke to him around that time when I was in Italy. I had gotten a phone. My parents got a hold of me. After I spoke to my parents, I had communicated with Johnny. On that phone call, I didn't know what was going on with him for those weeks. With his sobriety, I didn't know where his state was. I didn't know what state he was in. And when I spoke to him, he was saying what I can only he was going on about scientists and DNA and feces, that he had some scientific analysis done and DNA analysis done. And as soon as I heard about this feces, he thought that was a prank. And
hold on, we got a break here from
was going on about all the and he was going on about all the scientists that he had conferred about the DNA results with. I just thought he was out of his mind. And
so I guess Johnny Depp did some testing of some feces, that means some caca. Okay.
Clearly the drinking and the drugs are not getting better. Clearly the delusions aren't better. So
objection calls for speculation.
Please continue.
So I hung up from that phone call, assuming that, and then spoke to him once my parents got a hold of me to tell me about Betty Sue. We made a plan, Johnny and I, for him to come over. He said he really needed his wife. He had lost his mother and he missed his wife. He really needed his wife. He said it over and over again. I felt torn. I felt conflicted. I didn't think, obviously, the situation hadn't gotten better with Johnny mentally, and I was afraid that all the work and progress and distance I had finally got on the relationship for the first time. I had a month of distance on it, I didn't want that to be undone, but I also wanted to be, I was affected by the fact that his mother had passed. So he said he wanted to come over and talk about that, and he said he needed his wife, and we made a plan for him to come over.
I guess they were still married back then.
That might mitigate the amount that he would be drinking. Night is a little bit more dangerous. And in the early evening hours, I get a text from him that he's almost there, or that he's there. I think it was around 7:15 or so. And he came over, and we sat on the couch, and at first it was relatively peaceful. I mean, I could tell he was inebriated, but it makes sense. In my head, it made sense. He wasn't like incoherent. It was peaceful. And then he starts talking about the feces again, and this prank that he said one of my friends had left for him in my bed that he wasn't going to be at. And I tried to point out how that didn't make any sense. I'm not even going to be there. I wasn't there. And my friends wouldn't do that. That's not something a bunch of 30-year-old women think is funny. What is he talking about?
Oh, what? So Moran said you're not getting no notification. That sucks. Yeah. YouTube. Come on, YouTube. Back it up.
And he just kept going on and on about it. So I text my friend that it's...
Objection, hearsay.
I called my friend thinking that it would quell this, what I could only see as a delusion. I thought it was just a delusion he was having, and I thought, oh, I'll hopefully, quell this by calling my friend to if he hears my friend say that didn't happen.
Objection, Your Honor, hearsay.
So I thought if I could get my friend on the phone to prove that this didn't happen, we could move on and talk about the issues that we should be talking about. You know, our marriage was over and falling apart in front of our eyes. We hadn't seen each other for a month, and his mom had just passed. I couldn't believe he wanted to talk about feces. So I call this friend thinking that I
need her to get to the point because, you know, I mean,
take care of it. The friend doesn't answer. I call another friend who is someone else he claimed. I don't know how both people did this, but he was claiming that this person was responsible. So I call that person, and that person is on speakerphone. And I say,
tell us who that person is.
Io.
Yeah.
Io Tell It Right?
Io Tell It Right.
Okay.
I don't know who that is.
And then you put him on speakerphone with Johnny.
Right in front of Johnny.
Okay. And what happened next?
I allowed for an opportunity for Io to say why this is impossible.
Objection, hearsay.
It's not offered to prove the truth of the matter, is asserted, Your Honor. It's explaining the context that leads to the next acts.
Your Honor.
All right, hold on. It's going into a break, guys. I apologize. Okay, boom, boom. Let me see, boom. Let me bring it back.
Is being offered
We're
to
not
prove.
that leads to the next acts.
There we go.
Your Honor, it is being offered
We're
to
not
prove
here. We're not here about whether Io.
I'll sustain the objection. Next question.
What is the next thing that happens on your end with Mr. Depp?
Yeah,
it
thank you.
just made Johnny madder. He got more upset, grabbed the phone, and started screaming at Io. Just started screaming at the top of his lungs, just screaming expletives, insulting names, and telling Io that he can have me and, fuck off, and just
Who's
screaming
Io?
at him.
I gotta look, research it.
It's best I can describe it without getting into the details. He tosses the phone, down on the couch and heads upstairs. I pick up the phone and try to, apologize for the fact that my husband at the time just screamed at my friend on a cold call. I didn't want Io to think that's why I had called Io, to just be screamed at and blamed for something that sounded crazy, for lack of a better explanation. It sounded crazy. Io
Get to the cackle part.
Said something to me on speakerphone, and reminded me I wasn't safe.
Objection, Your Honor, hearsay.
Your Honor, it's not offered to prove the truth of the matter. It's to show what caused Mr. Depp to be set off and come back. I mean, it's not offered to prove the truth of what he's saying. It's not hearsay.
I'll overrule the objection. Go ahead.
Thank you. Please tell us what Io said and what then happened with Mr.
Io said, Amber, get out of the house. Get out of the house now. You're not safe. Get out of that house. Johnny hears this when he's on the stairs. He made it up one flight of stairs. Heard this, turned around, bolting down the stairs, grabbed the phone from my hand, and really, really started screaming this time. Lit into Io, called Io every imaginable horrible name that you can say to a LGBTQIA person, for one, and any person.
She's laughing.
Ever. I mean, just screamed at Io some really nasty stuff. And when he was done, he says, you want to have my woman now. You want to have my bitch. You can have, you take her, you can have her. And he, with that, picks up, just pulls his arm back with the phone and throws it at my face. Hit me right in it felt like my eye. I put my head in my hands and immediately start crying. I said, you hit me with the phone. Johnny, you hit me. And I'm sitting on the couch. I didn't even have time to react, I didn't even have time to put my hands up. I was still sitting cross-legged in my socks.
I think I missed the poop part.
Socks.
Let's check this one. I think.
What's it like to learn math on brilliant.org?
Free commercials. Yeah. she's I don't know about her. Yeah, she's been caught on a lot of lies. I'm gonna show you guys a quick video, but I think this is the part where
Right, Miss Heard?
look at the way Camille Vasquez goes on her ass, dude. It's just hilarious, man. She can't even talk.
This is the deal point memorandum from your divorce settlement, right, Miss Heard?
Yes, that's what it looks like.
And if we go down to the bottom of page 4, there's a heading labeled equalization payment. Do you see that?
Yes.
And underneath that, it outlines a payment schedule for the divorce payments, correct?
Oh, they were they
yes.
were on some stuff.
Begins to. And if we go on page 5, Mr. Depp's accountant, Edward White, testified
To what Mr. White testified to. That's
Okay.
It said, actually, he literally testified to it in court.
I'll overrule objection. Go
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Depp's accountant, Edward White, testified that he made the payment directly to the ACLU and CHLA, correct?
I believe so, yes.
And then the rest of the payments were all made to you, weren't they?
That is correct.
And the final payment of $2.3 million
Jeez.
is on February 1st, 2018, right?
The final payment, yes.
And you were here in court when Mr. White testified that the payments were all made on schedule.
I'm going to object to her testifying to what Mr. White testified to.
I'll
It's an
overrule the
improper.
objection. Go ahead.
Thank you, Your Honor. And you were here in court when Mr. White testified that the payments were all made on schedule, right?
I don't believe they were. He might have
That's
testified
not my
to
question, Ms. Heard. My question was, you were here in court when
That's not my
Mr.
question.
White testified under oath that all the payments were made on schedule.
that. I was here every day in court. I heard his testimony, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So back to October of 2018.
Like a little kid.
This was before Mr. Depp sued you for defamation, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
He didn't sue you until after the op-ed came out in December of 2018, right?
He sued me in 2019.
And the op-ed came out in December of 2018.
That is correct.
So in October of 2018, you had received your entire $7 million divorce settlement. You would
That-
agree with me.
That is correct.
And you hadn't yet been sued by Mr. Depp.
This is October, correct.
So in this October 2018 interview, you said that you had, quote, donated, end quote,
Check this out.
your
Check this out,
entire
guys.
divorce settlement to charity, right?
That's correct.
And in fact, your exact words were, quote, $7 million in total was donated to, I split it between the ACLU and the Children's Hospital of Los Angeles, end quote, right?
That's correct. I made that statement as soon as I got a divorce and we reached the settlement. That's when I pledged it, right then.
And you say this because you, quote, wanted nothing, end quote.
That is correct.
But you hadn't donated your entire $7 million settlement to charity at that
Busted.
point, had you?
That's incorrect.
She's
Sitting
like,
here
yeah.
today, Ms. Heard, you still haven't donated the $7 million
Boom.
divorce settlement to charity. Isn't that right?
Incorrect. I pledged the entirety
No,
of the
Ms. Heard,
settlement,
that's
$7
not
million
my
to
question.
charity, and I
Ms. Heard,
intend to
Ms.
fulfill
Heard,
those
Ms.
obligations.
Heard, that's not my question. Please,
What was
try
your
to answer
question?
my question. Sitting here today,
Yo.
you have not donated the $7 million, donated, not pledged, donated the $7 million divorce settlement to charity.
I use pledge and donation synonymous with one another. They're
But I
the same
don't.
thing.
Ms. Heard,
Yeah.
I don't use it synonymously.
That's how donations are paid.
Ms. Heard,
Hey, yo, look at the people back here, bro. They're laughing their ass. Oh man, she's treating her like like a little girl,
I don't
man.
use it synonymously.
That's how donations are paid. Use pledge and donation synonymous with one another. They're
But I
the same
don't.
thing.
Ms. Heard,
But I don't.
I don't use it synonymously.
That's how donations are paid.
Look,
Ms.
look,
Heard,
right here.
respectfully, that's not my question.
Oh,
As
got you,
of today,
bitch.
You have not paid $3.5 million of your
Look
own
at
money
the
to
right
the
here.
ACLU. Yes or no?
I have not yet.
And as of today,
Busted.
you have not paid $3.5 million of your own money to the Children's Hospital of Los Angeles, correct?
I have not yet. Johnny sued me.
So as of today, You have not donated, paid $7 million of your divorce settlement to charity, right?
I have not been able to fulfill those obligations yet.
And that's because you did want something, didn't you?
I didn't want any.
You wanted Mr. Depp's money.
Let me go. We're going into commercial here. Man, she's on her ass. She's like, oh, this and that. No. Yes or no question. Hey, yo, the crowd is having a ball back there.
Fulfill those obligations yet.
And that's because you did want something,
Boom.
didn't you?
I didn't want any.
You wanted Mr. Depp's money.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't get it. Wasn't interested in it. I loved Johnny. That's why I was with him.
You wanted praise for donating the money, right?
Yep.
That's incorrect.
She
You
wanted to get
good
praise.
press.
In general, one does want good press, yes.
You wanted to seem altruistic publicly.
Wasn't my interest. My interest is in my name and clearing my name. And at the time, I was being called a liar and my motives were being questioned. I did see it as important to clear that up. I wanted to make a statement to make sure that there was not any doubt that I couldn't be labeled these things just because Johnny was a bigger star and had more publicity reach.
You wanted to remind everyone of your claims of domestic violence against Mr. Depp, right?
No, I wanted to move on with my life.
You wanted
She's
to make
high.
those claims seem believable.
They are believable. They were
You wanted
believable.
them to be seen, as a noble victim of domestic violence.
I have
You heard,
never wanted to be seen it.
Hey, yeah, Brian, exactly. Her body language is just, man. I'm learning so much, man, from this case. You know, I mean, it's crazy, man. It's crazy how much you can learn from these trials here.
As a victim. Nor have I ever called myself one.
You testified under oath that, quote, the entirety of your divorce settlement was donated to charity, end quote, didn't you?
That's correct. I pledged the entirety.
No. Ms. Heard, my questions.
Boom.
Your counsel will have time to redirect you after. You testified under oath, quote, the entirety of your divorce settlement was donated to charity, end quote.
That is correct. I pledged the entirety.
I'm going to move to strike everything after yes.
Yeah.
All right.
Everything's yes.
Ms. Hurt, this is really inappropriate.
I'll sustain the objection.
Yeah.
We'll just move forward.
Thank
Yeah, he keeps up. For what I heard, Johnny Depp keeps his head down because he promised Amber Heard that he would never look at her ever again, and that's the reason why she. If you guys notice, that Johnny Depp never looks at Amber Heard. So this wild.
Let's move forward. Next question.
Under oath, that statement wasn't true, was it, Ms. Heard?
I'm sorry, I don't follow your question. Sorry.
You testified
Got you,
under
bitch.
oath, quote, the entirety of my divorce settlement was donated to charity, end quote. That statement wasn't true.
It is true. I pledged the entirety to charity.
The statement...
When you say you buy a house, you don't pay
Ms.
for the
Heard,
entire house
Ms. Heard,
at one time.
respectfully,
You pay it
I'm
over
not
time.
asking, Ms. Heard.
All right. Next question, please.
Thank you. That statement isn't true today, as you sit here today, is it?
It is true. I pledged the entirety.
But you
to
didn't
charity.
donate it.
Unfortunately,
You didn't donate it. It's a yes or no.
I haven't been able to fulfill those
So that's a no, right,
obligations.
Ms. Heard?
I made the pledge. I want to be very clear. I pledged the entirety. I haven't been able to fulfill those pledges.
Then that's a
because
no.
I've been sued.
You had all of the
That's a
$7
no.
million for 13 months before Mr. Depp
13
sued
months.
you, and you chose not to pay it to the charities you pledged it to.